Hi everyone! Welcome to Science Magazine time. Would you please take out your science magazine that is titled Meet Jon Klassen. Meet Jon Klassen. There's a picture of a man in the middle of our cover, and he is doing something with his hands, something artistic. Doing something with his hands. So pulling out this magazine, we're also going to need quite a few markers or crayons today. Of course, kindergarten and first grade, right? We're also going to need second grade and third grade today. So 3 grade colors. And then we're also going to need our purple punctuation and black labeling line. And then a pencil. And I have no, we don't need a pencil. I was testing you. Do we need a pencil? No, I was thinking of word work. We are good on the pencil, but we do need our 4 grade level colors. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. Purple punctuation and black labeling line. Okie dokie. This is a Time for Kids magazine. We know the issue is called Meet Jon Klassen. And it says, he is an author and illustrator. Learn about him inside. Ooh, so we get to learn more about him inside. Before we do that, let's find our kindergarten words on the cover. Seeing a couple in the picture caption. Okay, you can kind of see what I did. I found 4 kindergarten words. Let's read them together. He is an and. Right. There's also some first grade words in the caption. I was looking in the title. Yep, in the caption. The first one is the last word in the second sentence. It starts with an A. The last word in the second sentence, it starts with an A. Do you remember what that word is? We've seen it a couple of times. First grade word. Let's read it together. About. Right. About is a first grade word. So, of course, we need to underline that in orange. About. The second word that we're underlining in orange starts with an H, and it's in the last or the third line of our picture caption. Starts with an H, and it's in the third or the last line of the picture caption. 3 letters. Did you find it? Right there. What is this word again? Him. We've seen this a couple of times. H-I-M spells him. Underlining in orange. Okay. Purple punctuation. You see at least one looking in the title of our magazine. But there is more when we look in the picture caption. I found 3. Did you also find 3? Great. Exclamation point and 2 purple periods. Black labeling line. Okay. Just like last week, we underlined the words author and illustrator for Dr. Seuss when we learned about him. So let's do the same thing for Jon Klassen. Author and illustrator. Underlining those and pointing to our author and illustrator, Jon Klassen. I'm doing 2 different labeling lines because last week they were kind of closer together and I only did 1. But I'm going to do 2 for this week, author and illustrator. And then we need 1 more that we write ourselves. And I was thinking, this author is doing something, some sort of artistic something on the cover. What form of art is he doing? Do you know? Right. He's drawing with colored pencils. So let's write over here the word draw. Actually, I'm going to write on his shirt because it looks a little lighter, so it might come through. D, right? R, yep. Yep. A, draw. W, right? It's a little sneaky. The W at the end. Draw. W. And then I'm going to draw a labeling line down to his hand over here that is drawing with the pencil. Okay. Means we're ready to turn the page and open up our science magazine. Looking at the title inside, it says Author at Work. I'm going to fold this so it's easier to see. Author and illustrator Jon Klassen creates books for kids from his home in Los Angeles, California. Here, he chats with TFK about his work. So, this is kind of a little interview that he's giving about his work. So an interview is when somebody asks you questions and you answer those questions, saying something about yourself or something that you saw or heard or have been doing. And in this case, Jon Klassen has been authoring and illustrating his own books. Okay, if you would like to go through and find the kindergarten and first grade words in here, you can do that yourself. Looking for words that we are familiar with. Kindergarten words, of course. There's some first grade words that we have been seeing as well. And I see at least one that we underlined on the cover. Okay. Looking in our first blue text over here, we see the big blue picture frame and the blue text. We know that these two go together. It says movies to books. Klassen used to work on movies. Now his focus is on books. I love storytelling in books, he says. I think of the story first, then I decide what are the best pictures that tell the story. Oh, so he thinks of what to write first for the words or the text, and then he decides to draw the pictures to show the words that he is writing about. So I bet some authors draw their pictures first and then write, but he likes to write the words first and then draw the pictures. Okay, kindergarten words. I see a lot of kindergarten words. Kindergarten. Going through, finding all of those kindergarten words. Okay. Oh my goodness, there is so many. Finding all of those kindergarten words. There is so many, so if you need a second to continue finding them all, go ahead and pause the video now. But these are all the ones that I found. Going through the list that I found the word to and another to, right? The word on. Oh, is another on, right? And then the word, we know this word, I, in, he, another I, the, another I, the. That's a lot of kindergarten words. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 kindergarten words. Wow. That shows how much we can read from that text because there are so many words we already know. I love it. Okay, there are also quite a few first grade words that we have seen before. The first one is a 2-letter word. It starts with an O. I'm trying to find it here. If you look here, it's in, I'm going to point to the sentence it's in so it's easier to find. 2-letter word in this sentence right here. Two-letter word. Do you see it? Right there. What word is that? Of. Underlining the word of. 2 letters. O, F, orange. There's another word that we have seen before. It starts with a TH. It makes that the sound. And it's in this sentence right here. This sentence starts with a TH. Do you recognize that word? Right. It's the word then. Then. Remember how I said that there are a lot of words in the first grade that have that the sound at the beginning. So underlining the word then with orange. Another word we've seen before starts with a WH, in this sentence, and it ends in a kindergarten word. What is that first grade word? What? Right. What is that first grade word? That was my hint. What? Underline. First grade. What? Our next word is right underneath the word then. We underlined the word then in orange, so looking for that word, and it's right underneath that word. It starts with an A. Do you see that word? We've seen this word a few times for sure. So looking for the word then. Right underneath it, starts with an A, is the word R. Right, not the letter R, the word R. And we still have one more first grade word. Whew. Last line, it has the sound at the beginning. Last line. You got it. Right there, it's the word that. Okay, phew. We made it through all of our first grade words. But now, second grade yellow. Okay. I'm looking for another TH word. This is not a TH word that is a kindergarten word or first grade word. This is a second grade TH word. It's in this line right here. It's part of the ink family word, the ink word family. Ink. Ink. What word is that? Think, right. Ink word family. The first sound or phoneme that we hear is ink. Think. Okay. Now we need our third grade green. One of the words that we are going to be underlining starts with a B, and it's in the title of this text box. Starts with a B, and it's in the title of this text box. Do you recognize this word right here? It's the word books. Books is a third grade word. Books. Book is actually the third grade word, but we can add an S at the end because then we know that it's not just one book, it's multiple books. So we can still underline it because book is a third grade word. Underlining books, and if you look through the text, look and see, look all the way through what we just read because there is not just one book, there is 2 books that we need to underline, 3 books that we need to underline. Yeah, 3 books. Did you find them all? Right, there's 3 that we need to underline. All the same word, books. Nice work. Purple punctuation. Purple punctuation. Looking for those. There's some special purple punctuation. Finding those. Okay. Purple punctuation. There's some curvy commas. There's some purple periods. And there's some quote signs. We can see the symbol has 2 lines, kind of like apostrophes, but 2 of them that shows that he is talking. So we know in text, if we see that the text that's inside of those quotes, we can see here, I love storytelling in books. You see the quotation, and the words that are inside it is when he is talking. Ooh, let's say the word quotation 3 times. Quotation, quotation, quotation. That shows that somebody is talking. Quotation mark. So I'm seeing purple periods, I'm seeing some curvy commas, purple periods, and more quotation marks. Black labeling line. There's so many words in this text, but there's one word that stood out to me as the main idea of this picture. The main idea, which I normally look in the title. I didn't like the words there. I didn't think they were the main idea. The main idea, let me find it, is this word right here. Pictures. Pictures, because he is drawing or illustrating the pictures in this image or this picture. So we're underlining the word picture and pointing to the picture of him drawing a picture or illustrating a picture. Picture, picture, picture. Underline. Labeling line. I thought we could write the word for the tool that he is using to illustrate his pictures. He's using a pencil, right? Right here, I'm going to write the word pencil. P, right? Here. E. N. N. Pen. We wrote the word pen. We have to finish it. Pencil. N. S. Wouldn't it sounds like it would be an S, but there's another letter that can make that S sound. A C, right? Pence. I. O. Pencil. L. Right. He's using a pencil to make his art or to illustrate his book. Pencil, and I pointed to the pencil in his hand. Okay. Our next text box is our orange text box right here. Read it together. There's not going to be, this was a lot of underlining and purple punctuation. There won't be as much on these ones. Our orange text box says, big pictures. Klassen draws large, clear pictures. I like to make simple pictures that have big shapes, he says. The books do not have a lot of text. Oh, interesting. So he likes to make the pictures the main idea or what's really showing the author or the reader what's happening in the story. So not as much text. Interesting. Okay, kindergarten red. Looking for all those kindergarten words. There's a lot in this one too. Okay, I think I found them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, double check Okay, I think I found them all. Let's go through together. I like to, he, the, do, a, oh, I underlined this word, but we already know that's a first grade word, right? Because we already underlined that before. So ignore that one. That's a first grade word. But we found those. So first grade, we could do the first one, is the word, 2-letter word at the bottom. The word is of, right? First grade orange, of. We also have, let's see. Oh, we have an H word that has a silent E at the end. Find that H word that has a silent E. There is one in the 3rd line down in our text underneath the title, the 3rd line underneath the title. 1, 2, 3. Looking for that H word that has a silent E at the end. Did you find it? Right, have. We've seen that a few times. Have. And would you also underline it in the last line of our text box? There's 2 haves. There's also a the sounding, or a word that has the phoneme at the beginning, first grade. Has a kindergarten word, a part of it. That, right. The, at, that. We have the phoneme, the, and the at, kindergarten word at the end. Underlining that. Ooh, underline that. Last one, last sentence. It's the word not. Can you find the word not in the last sentence and point to it for me? Yeah, you got it. Not. First grade word. Boop. Okay. Second grade yellow. We have seen this word before, and it's in the title. It's a 3-letter word in the title. What word is that? Big. Right, we've seen that word before. We know it's a second grade yellow. Big. And there's another, if you look through, in the 3rd line down, there's another big to underline. Okay, now we're gonna need our 3rd grade green because I see that word books again. Do you see it in the 2nd line down? Or the 2nd line from the bottom? So this is the last line, the 2nd line from the bottom. Books, right, books. Sorry, there's a siren going off outside my window. Books, green. That means we're ready for purple punctuation. Okay. Ooh, I'm seeing those quotation marks again. Quotation, so we know he's talking because the quotation marks are on the page. We see, sorry, Dale. Siren, gonna be loud for a second. Finding those purple periods while we're waiting for the siren to finish up. Comparing with my page. I think it's just about to pass. There it went. Bye, siren. It's waving goodbye. Bye. Okay, purple. Oh, I missed one. Curvy comma. Curvy comma. Here we go. Okay, now we're ready for our black labeling line. Okay, looking at our picture, I thought it was really interesting what he was saying when he said, I like to make simple pictures that have big shapes. Do you see some shapes in the drawing or the illustration that he has done in this picture? Do you see some shapes that make up this illustration? Right, there's shapes in all of the animals' bodies. I love that way that he did that illustration. So let's underline the word shapes right here, shapes, and point to whichever shape you would like to point to I think I'm going to do one on the bear's, looks like maybe a dress. Picking a shape and pointing to it. Okay. And then I was thinking, since he was talking that he doesn't use very much text in his writing, so I thought a word that we could write is the word imagine, because you're using your imagination. You're imagining what the author is trying to tell you just by looking at the pictures. So let's write the word imagine. I'm going to write in this white spot right here. It's as if it was meant for me to write right there. M. A. J. Kind of sounds like it could be a J, like in Jaguar. J. This is a G. G's can sometimes make that sound too. Imagine. I, right? Another I. Imagine. N, right? Imagine. There's a silent E at the end as well. Finish out our book spelling of the word imagine. That E at the end. And I think that we can just leave it right there. We don't need to point to anything because we're using our imagination of where the text might be or what the text is saying. Imagining. Okay. We are ready for our purple text box up here. It says surprising stories. Oh, surprising stories. Klassen's books are about animals who can talk. Quotation, so we know he's talking right now. I like to use animals because they can do a lot of things and they can surprise you, he says. Kindergarten red. Looking for those kindergarten words. Kindergarten. Okay, comparing with mine. Can I to use can do a and can you he. Right. Nice. Okay, kindergarten words. That means we're ready for our first grade words. I see one of the words we've underlined. It's a letter. Sounds like a letter, but it's the word R. Do you see it in the first line of our text box? R, right there. Underlining in orange. R. The next word is also a first grade word. So Klassen's books are about. Right, we've already underlined that. Are about. Okay. Another word, looking at this word right here, the word is who. Who. Not the sound that an owl makes, who, but who, like, who are you? Or who wants cake? Who. W-H-O. Who is a first grade word. Who. Looking in the fourth line down, 1, 2, 3, 4, we see the word the. They, right, they. We know it's a first grade word. They, we've underlined that a few times. Our first grade word, 2 letters, it's the word of. Nice. Of. Something big must have happened. There's another alarm, or another siren. Of. Okay, I think That is all of them. So we're ready for some purple punctuation. There's so many different purple punctuations in this magazine. I really like that. Purple punctuation, purple punctuation. Ooh, I'm seeing curvy commas. I'm seeing purple periods. I'm seeing purple quotation marks and curvy apostrophes as well. Okay, we're ready for our black labeling line. The first one is the word animals. He said that his surprising stories are oftentimes about animals. So, oops, sorry, you can't see. Underlining the word animals and pointing to one of the animals on either one of these covers. I am going to point to the little fish because in my read aloud today, he's gonna look familiar. Just keep that in your mind. He's gonna look familiar in our read aloud today. Okay, I want you to find one more labeling line for this, and then I'm going to have you find the kindergarten, first grade. If you see any other second grade words that we've underlined before in this, go for it. Purple punctuation, of course, 2 labeling lines. But first, let's read it. Art supplies. Klassen uses materials such as black ink, crayons, and colored pencils. He also creates art on his computer. So he does lots of different forms of art. Interesting. Okay, so finishing up this labeling line, our normal routine that we do on this one. And then on the back, it says, spot the difference. Jon Klassen drew these lighthouses. They are mirror images of each other. That means that they are the same, except for 12 differences. Ooh, 12. How many can you find? So looking between these two and finding the differences. They're almost identical, but there's some things that are different. It's a puzzle. Okay, have fun with that, and I'll see you in just a second for our magazine response. Bye, everyone.